Chairman, members of the Judiciary Committee. The legislation before you, well, let me start off by saying I do not want to stop people from panhandling. That is not the intent of my legislation at all. I do not want to stop people from giving to panhandlers. And my legislation would not do that. What my legislation would do is it would say that if you're going to give money to a panhandler or anyone on the roadway, you need to pull over into a legitimate parking space. And this is for safety reasons. Would you let your child roller skate on an island of traffic? It is so dangerous. There are so many accidents out there. I think nationwide, at the time I know it was 44,000 people were hit on the roadway or crossing the street, pedestrian accidents. And a panhandler basically you could classify as a pedestrian because they have to walk across the street to get where they're going, and it's a dangerous situation. We right now, as a General Assembly, regulate motorists for many things, stop signs, speeding, and so all this would do is regulate where the person in the vehicle could do it. It's a growing problem. We're seeing more and more of it. It is a safety issue. And I think that it does not impede somebody's free speech. It does not impede somebody for asking for money. It just says pull over into a legitimate space to do it. I would like to see some of the money collected from the fines be designated to some. I talked to some wonderful social groups that are out there that help some of the people that have problems that are out there panhandling, that they have to do this. And I'd like to see some of the money from the fine be designated to those groups so they would have more resources to help some of these people. I also left in there and worked out in discussions with the police in the firefighters in Cranston. They do a lot of charity work collecting. They do it twice a year. And I had given the clerk a copy, but I didn't save one. Thank you. So if you look at this, the Muscular Dystrophy Association, I believe it's twice a year the firefighters do that, but they only do it during daylight hours, so it's safer. They get a permit from the city. The permit costs $25. I'm not asking for that. I'd like to see the city give out a free permit. And they are insured. Police are notified so that when they're doing this, you can have police around to ensure that it's a safer way. And they have liability insurance and they have safety gear on. So what I'd like to see put in the bill is that enabling, because every city and town has its different type of uniqueness, the city or town will be able to give up to, I'd say up to 3, I know in France we have up to 3 yard sales a year, up to 3 permits to anyone who meets some of these classifications. They certainly should be of age. We don't want young kids out in the street, and they should meet some of the criteria. Again, the permit fee, maybe we can leave that up to the city or town, should definitely be in daylight hours. And that they could then issue the permit to anyone who meets those qualifications, so that that would not impede some of the charitable organizations. And if the panhandlers wanted to do it the way the charitable organization, so be it, then they could do it. But, you know, to have these people, and I know some of these people are homeless, some people have mental illness problems, some people have alcohol problems, there's veterans out there. These people should never be out in the street having to ask for money. But it's a reality, and it's the way some people are surviving. And I think what we need to do is take better care of them, maybe inform them too of the resources that are available. Maybe some of them don't even know about the resources. And before the fine is issued to the motorist, I'd like to see maybe a 6-month warning period so that the motorists would become aware of the law and just get a warning for the first 6 months before the fine would kick in. I mean, there's got to be better ways that we can help homeless people and people in need than having them have to stand out in the street and ask for money in a dangerous way. And I think that the least thing we could do, the very least, is ensure that the way they're doing it is not dangerous. They shouldn't be out there at night. They shouldn't be out there with safety gear on. They shouldn't be out there in the middle of traffic. And basically, someone is here from the Muscular Dystrophy to elaborate on the system that they use. And glad to answer any questions.
Any questions to the sponsor? Representative Brady?
I have a question. Am I permitted or prevented from stopping now for any reason that I feel like not related to panhandling? So
No, unless your car's broken down, and even if it is, you're supposed to pull over into the breakdown lane.
So if I'm driving down the street and let's say I'm looking for a lost dog, I think I see it. It's illegal for me
You're not
to
supposed
stop.
to, I believe, stop in the middle of the road for any reason. You're always supposed to pull over. And I'm so glad, if I may add, Representative Brady, that one of the criticisms of the bill was that, how are the police going to enforce this? Well, the very same way that the police enforce when you go to a stop sign or go a red light. They will wait for you to do it, see you, and then pull you over, and then issue the ticket.
So I just want to clarify the answer. It's illegal for me under some other section of law. It's just to clarify. You're saying that it's illegal for me under some other provision in general law to stop just for whatever reason.
I believe it is illegal. I'm not an attorney, but I believe it's illegal to just stop your car in the middle of the road and impede traffic or to cause any type of obstruction in the road.
Representative Knight, you want to take a bite of that?
Yeah, it's not illegal.
It's not illegal to stop your car in the middle of the road?
I've been prosecuting and defending traffic cases for a decade. There's no law to my knowledge that says you can't stop in the middle of the road as long as you're not impeding traffic, creating a safety danger or whatnot. Like, if you're out looking for the dog, you slow down to 5 miles an hour or even stop to look between the houses, I don't see any problem with that. But I did have a question for Representative.
But you're saying you can't impede traffic, so you can't be in traffic and just stop your car because you feel like stopping it and impede traffic. That would certainly be a traffic violation.
Most likely a traffic violation. Do you think that there might be a constitutional problem with this statute in freedom of association? That you can talk to whoever you want to, whenever you want to?
I don't, and that's why I drafted it this way, and I think it's kind of unique throughout the country, is the person who would get the fine would be the motorist, because I am not, under this law, you would not be stopping the panhandle from panhandling, and you wouldn't be stopping somebody from donating. So I don't believe it would be an impediment of their First Amendment right to do what they're doing. I believe that we as a state legislate a lot of traffic rules and regulations on the road, and we have the authority to do that to ensure that everyone's safe, both the motor vehicle driver and the panhandler or anyone in the road. And if I may, you made me think of one other thing. Cranston has passed a panhandling piece of legislation where they were finding the panhandler. Cost the taxpayers a lot of money, went to court, and the court said it's unconstitutional. You cannot find a panhandler. Clearly, they have a constitutional First Amendment right to be out there. And now they come up with another ordinance very similar, which again is going to cost the taxpayers money. And other cities and towns are coming up with a lot of other different ideas. So I think whatever we come up with, whatever way we address the problem, it needs to be statewide. It needs to be uniform across the state, and this would also prevent the cities and towns from being in needless litigation that costs money.
Okay. Representative Jones?
Thank you, Chairman Keeble. I see routinely people panhandling on North Main Street near my home. And they are panhandling at the lights. If I'm driving along in the lane next to the center island and stop at the light because the light is red, as I read your legislation, it would not be illegal for me to give a panhandler $1. Because I did not stop for purposes of giving a panhandler $1. I stopped because the light was red.
That's a good catch, as always, Representative Jones. It should say you cannot do it, even if you're already stopped at a red light, because you can't do it from, you have to pull over into a legitimate type safe parking space.
But where is the danger? If the light is red, I open my window and hand the panhandler $1.
Oh, where's the danger is, I mean, picture this. You're stopped at the red light, the panhandler comes over to the car, you're handing him the money, okay? He's going back, the light changes, you take off, the car behind him hits him. This happens all the time.
He's not in the street, he's on the island. I'm right next to the island. He's not in the street.
Well, how does he get the money?
I'm right next to the island.
Well, I mean,
Right.
I understand what you're saying, but are we going to guarantee that every single person that's standing out there is going to be close enough to a car that they're never going to have to step into the street where traffic can take off at any time?
What I'm wondering about is your legislation says that I cannot stop my car for purposes of giving this person $1.
It says you cannot, and what it should be
Stop
saying
the car.
legally, it says you cannot pass something from your vehicle to someone unless you're in a legitimate parking space. You can't be in an active lane of travel, whether or not you're stopped at a red light or not. Now, I'm not sure if it's
They
clear.
haven't written it down.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm not sure if it's written clear enough here, but that's my intent, and that's the way I explained it to Ledge Council.
Thank you.
Councilmember Brady?
Yeah, just a follow-up question, David Trinity. So, if it's illegal for me to stop now and obstruct traffic, and it seems from what you testified that your purpose here is to prevent people from stopping and obstructing traffic, is this actually necessary if it's already illegal to do that?
Well, obviously it is, because the police cannot do anything because they're not doing anything now. So it's not because they're not doing it, it's because the law's not addressing it. I think the law, and I'm just thinking like on common sense, that the law says you can't be driving down the street, have cars behind you, cars coming this way, just stop your car. Now, if you're driving down a side street looking for your dog, there's no traffic around, I don't think that's an issue.
No, and I was asking it to establish whether or not it's illegal for me to stop and obstruct traffic under current statute. It seems
I
that
believe it is.
it seems that it is. So in that case, if you're looking, if the intention of this bill is not to stop handling, but to stop people from obstructing traffic, it seems as if we're already.
Well, it's more than that. It's more than a motor vehicle thing. It's the safety of the pedestrian out there, because so many pedestrians are getting killed on our roadways throughout the country. So it's not saying because it's an inconvenience. I am not trying to stop somebody from getting money. I want the money to go to the programs to help these people. It's so that the person's safety. Would you let your child stand out in the middle of the street or roller skate in the street? No, it's dangerous. Everybody knows it's dangerous.
If my child's on the Little League team that collects money at the intersection of Smithfield Ave and Higginson Ave and Lincoln, then the answer is yes, I will.
Well, this legislation would help you protect your child because it would address that.
Sounds like it would prevent it.
No, they would just have to get a permit from the city or town.
Well, that it does not say that.
No, that you're absolutely right, and that's the part I was asking to be amended. That was part of the part, and the second part was where the money would go.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anything else? Any other questions?